everybody, welcome back to another video of me rambling about my Hot Wheels cars and my cat meowing in the background. I'm not sure if she's hungry or what's going on, but I play with her and I gave her a lot of attention, but she is still a kitten, only I think half a year old, maybe not even that, so she's still pretty needy. Well, I haven't really been to the shop recently. I wasn't actually even sure if I'm gonna come back and make another video before the end of the year. But I decided to do it because why not? Because 3 of these cars I did pick up recently, and one of them, the very last one on the bottom here, I picked up a while ago. I'm not sure exactly when that was anymore, but I was actually really happy to find it in my collection. But the ones that I did pick up recently, why don't I go ahead and begin with this one, the Beetle. The first 3 I did pick up recently, and no particular reason at all, to be honest. This just seemed like something that I should pick up. It just felt like one of those things. It has a surprising amount of detail on the bottom. I know I always complain about it, but like I only say it basically as like a side note or something. I'm not a huge fan of the Transformers movies in particular, but they are definitely action movies that you just gotta turn your brain off and just sit down and watch. I believe that's how I would best describe them from my perspective. The first one is very memorable, of course, for a lot of reasons, but to be honest, I did not see many other ones past the first one. But the Beetle is a classic. I'm really happy that Hot Wheels is making Volkswagen cars, especially these old classic Beetles. I'm not sure if this is exactly how the one in the movie looks like. It actually is not really even. Oh, it actually is. Now that I read the text on the bottom of the car, it does classify as a Volkswagen Beetle. Although on the car, for some reason, it only says Bumblebee. But I mean, to be fair, I guess if they were to, if they had to write the entire name of the car, it would be super long and it would take up the entire space down here, so they just called it Bumblebee. And honestly, I did not see a whole lot of these Hot Wheels screen time cars anywhere. This is the one that I've seen this year, and I think there's like a Batman car probably or something like that, but not much else. And looking at this Beetle, it does have some details, but I did notice that it doesn't look entirely like the car on the car, because look at that, it has that big chrome bumper on the front, but the car itself has just like that bottom lip over there, which is basically connected to the bottom of the floor of the car. So I don't remember ever seeing a car that's that much different from the car itself. I mean, I'm not complaining about it exactly. It would be a pretty silly thing to complain about, but it is definitely very noticeable. Like once you see it, I guess. It also doesn't really have the blinkers in the front, like on the front arches. It does not have that chrome strip on the side or through the middle, through the center of the car, and it also doesn't have any any rear view mirrors at all. So I don't know, like it's a Beetle, and that's why I like it, honestly. But like when it comes to details, there's a lot of stuff missing for some reason. I'm not honestly sure what it is. It has a little Hot Wheels logo on the back, and the back lights are colored. The front lights are chrome. I imagine that it's just kind of like sticking out from the floor of the car, because it doesn't really look light shaped. It's just there to be shiny. That's about it. So yeah, honestly, not a whole lot to say. I mean, it's a Beetle. Everybody knows Beetles, and everybody knows the Transformers movies. So yeah, I don't have any significant remarks about it. I'm not a huge fan of those movies, to be honest. But like I said before, the first one was cool, and it is pretty memorable in my opinion. Second one that I picked up, I did see a lot of these in the bins, but it's a Lotus Type 49 from 1967. I was actually considering picking it up. I was not sure if I should or if I should just leave it there, but I do love I just absolutely love the way it looks. It's basically a coffin on wheels. I would say there's absolutely no safety in the real thing, and I absolutely love how the engine is just exposed in the back over there. It's got the number 4, it says Team Lotus on the side, it's got that British racing green with the yellow stripe. Almost reminds me of that, what is it called? The John something livery, something like that. I honestly can't remember from the top of my head, but I am a huge fan of these new wheels that they've been putting on cars recently. It fits this particular Lotus so much. It looks just so good. And I don't know if any of these old formula cars, I'm not sure if it's a formula car, if I should call it that, or maybe it's, I'm honestly not sure how to call it. I'm just gonna go ahead and call it a formula car. So I'm not sure if they've been making a whole lot of formula cars, honestly. So yeah, this is one that really stood out to me. I also love the fact that they put that driver there with the like he almost looks like, he almost looks like exactly as he should from the car. It's got the old school cap with the old school visors, the glasses. And yeah, I wish the tires were more detailed because they're really sticking out on this particular model, but that would be too much to ask for a Euro 50, I imagine. So yeah, this one was really cool. I did consider, like, I was wondering if I should or shouldn't, if I should pick it up or not. But then obviously I ended up picking it up because why not? It was about 50 and it looks cool as hell. The next one, this was actually the only one that I've seen in the bins. The Lotus was a plenty, just like the Beetles were plenty in the bins. I guess people were just, either there were way too many in the boxes or people were just not super interested. But this was the only Pagani Utopia that I've seen. There is absolutely nothing going on in the bottom, but again, like with many other hypercars, maybe that's exactly how it's supposed to look because of aerodynamics. Not a lot of details in general going on in this car. I do love those roof windows. That kind of, like, there's so many windows on this car. It somehow reminds me of the Volkswagen T1 Transporter Samba bus. Like, the more windows that van had, the rarer it is today. Yeah, as I was saying, not a ton of details on this one. I'm not sure why that little, it's not a Huayra, and it doesn't say Pagani, I think it says Utopia over here on that little decal, and maybe Pininfarina. I can't really read it, to be honest. So yeah, I'm not sure why it goes in a different direction than like this line of the car on the side. That's a little weird, to be to be honest. I'm not a huge fan of the color that they chose for this model. I'm not sure if this is a real color that Pagani puts on these Utopia cars. But hey, who am I to complain? It almost looks pearlescent, to be honest, and it's like an off-white kind of shade of color. So I guess it's kind of cool, but like I'm not a big fan, to be honest. But yeah, this was the only one that was in the bins, and it's a Pagani. So I said to myself, like, why not? Who would not want to have a Pagani for 1.5 euros, right? It's from the Hot Wheels Exotic series. Is one more thing that I actually wanted to mention, because funnily enough, this Pagani Zonda R that I picked up from one of my boxes is also from the Hot Wheels Exotics, but I'm not sure if I picked it up this year. If I look at the back, it's 2022, so I guess it's a longer running series. And if I remember correctly, this was also the only one in the bins back then when I looked. I'm not entirely sure, but it probably was, I imagine. In real life, this car is that pure carbon fiber. Like, it's not, I think it's like clear coated or something like that, but the car itself does not have a color. It's, as far as I know, at least that's how I've seen it in all the games and in all the videos. It's like a carbon fiber body with, I think, only clear coat. That's probably like that because of weight reduction, because I think this car is ridiculously light. It's very special, probably just a few pieces out there. And I wonder how much this will cost, to be honest with you, on the internet currently, if I would look it up, because I have no idea. But after I'm gonna make this video, I'm probably gonna go take a look and find out for myself, because I'm kind of curious. I'm not planning on selling it or anything. I'm just genuinely curious, and that's about it. Yes, I do love the color combination, the Italian flag colors on the top over here, the green, white, and red. It's got some nice details going on the side. It does say Zonda R on the side, and it just looks very brutal. Like, I remember driving this in Need for Speed Shift. I think it was the second shift, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, it is just incredibly difficult to handle. I'm never probably gonna see this in real life, but I do like to see it in games. Not a lot of Paganis in games lately. I wonder how many cars they still make per year. But I imagine that most of them probably go to the Emirates anyway. But yeah, cool car to have, definitely. If I remember correctly, it was the only one in the bins. It's not a treasure hunt, just a regular Paganis on the R. But it's very cool to have. And this is gonna be most likely the last video that I'm gonna make this year. Thank you to everybody who has been watching and listening to me ramble. I really appreciate it, and I hope I'm gonna keep going with these videos because it's fun. And it's also fun collecting Hot Wheels. So I'll talk to you some other time. Have a happy new year and stay safe.